The Roman Forum, known as Forum Romanum in Latin, was a site located at the center of the ancient city of Rome and the location of important religious, political, and social activities. Historians believe people first began publicly meeting in the open-air forum around 500 BC, when the Roman Republic was founded. The rectangular-shaped area sited on low-lying land between Palatine Hill and Capitoline Hill was home to many of the ancient city's most impressive temples and monuments. Today, the Roman Forum is one of the most famous tourist sites in the world, attracting more than 4.5 million visitors annually. At first, the Forum essentially served as a marketplace for day-to-day shopping. Over time, it became much more versatile and functional, as public affairs were held in the area. Historians estimate that the rise of public events in the Roman Forum first took place around 500 BC when the Roman Republic started. The Forum gradually developed, progressed, and expanded over many centuries. Statues, arches, basilicas, and other buildings were constructed to accommodate the gatherings. Around the reign of Julius Caesar, the Forum became overcrowded. Caesar is credited with building a new Forum off to the side of the original to offer more space. Later, the Emperor Augustus also added on to the area. The Forum was considered the heart of Rome. While there were many other forums in ancient Rome, the Roman Forum was the most significant. It was a multi-purpose site that accommodated various functions. Events taking place in the Forum included elections, public speeches, criminal trials, gladiator matches before the Colosseum was built, social gatherings, business dealings, public meetings, religious ceremonies, educational events, and buying, selling, and trading of items. Several important buildings, statues, and monuments were located in the Forum. Some temples were built to honor men, and others were dedicated to gods or goddesses. Some of the most well-known structures in the Roman Forum include Senate House, the Temple of Saturn, Arch of Titus, Temple of Vesta, the Rostra, Temple of Castor and Pollux, and the Sacra Via. The Roman Forum was reconstructed many times during its existence. This allowed for various forms of architecture from different eras to merge together. Influence from each period can be seen in the design and construction of the buildings. Roman architects were greatly influenced by classical Greek designs. But the Romans also created their own signature structures, such as basilicas, triumphal arches, domes, Roman baths, and amphitheaters. Materials ranged from concrete to magnificent marble. Sites in the Forum are also mentioned in historic literature. Ancient Rome was, for example, the setting for several of William Shakespeare's works. Most of the ancient buildings and sites in the Roman Forum were destroyed in 410 AD, around the time that the entire Roman Empire began to fall. During the Middle Ages, the land that was once the great Roman Forum was reduced to a pasture for grazing animals. The area became known as Campo Vecino or cattle field and was essentially an overgrown, neglected field. The Roman Forum was rediscovered by the archaeologist Carlo Fei in 1803. Excavations to clear the area took over 100 years. In fact, it wasn't fully excavated until the early 20th century. Because the Romans built over earlier ruins, the remains from several centuries can be found in the Forum. Today, the Roman Forum is a popular tourist attraction. Visitors can get a first-hand look at the ancient ruins and architectural fragments that were left behind. Persistent efforts to restore and preserve the ruins remain a top priority. Excavations are ongoing in and around the Forum. Historians are still trying to uncover new findings that could give them answers about Rome's exact age. For instance, in 2009, a group of archaeologists found pottery remains in food scraps around a wall that dated back to the 8th or 9th century BC. This is more than a century before most experts thought Rome was founded. The ancient remains are mysterious in many ways, but they offer unprecedented insight into Roman civilization.